What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Shop from the Point Hockey. I am Jeff the Huff Huffman. And unfortunately, my St. Louis Blues were eliminated from the NHL playoffs for the 50th consecutive season. Still unable to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. But hey, I'm not that upset about it. They got beat by a flat-out better team. And this is the Nashville team that a lot of people expected all year. So it came as a shock to a lot of us, including myself, when Nashville was barely able to squeak into the playoffs this year. But hey, that's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is get into the dance, and you never know what could happen. Predators go into the first round, steamroll the Blackhawks. The Blues were able to put up a fight against the Predators, but the Predators were showing why they had so much hype coming into this season. The Preds have tons of speed, tons of skill. Pekka Rinne was playing in Vezina form from a couple years ago, and getting tons of production from their blue liners, guys like PK Subban, Roman Josi, and of course Ryan Ellis, who seems like every time the dude takes a shot, it's going into the net. And the Preds have been playing perfectly, and there was really not much the Blues could do about it. I thought they played well, but they were just simply outmatched by a better team. And also, considering where the Blues were 2.5 months ago before the coaching change, hey, I will gladly take it. Because before Mike Yeo took over, I mean, this team was flat out lost. Yeah, Tarasenko was scoring some goals, but you weren't getting any production from anybody else. The defense was allowing way too many shots. And of course, the goaltending, Jake Allen and Carter Hutton, couldn't stop a frickin' beach ball. And just 2.5 months ago when Yeo took over, I mean, the idea of the Blues making the playoffs seemed like it really wasn't going to happen. But Yeo takes over, and the Blues just absolutely go off. Maybe peaked a little bit too early, but since Yeo took over, the Blues posted the 3rd best record in the league, I believe. And it was just cool to see the team do a complete 180 from where they were. Everybody was playing at the top of their game. And once Yeo took over, they got Martin Brodeur down there with Jake Allen. And Jake Allen, you know, since that point, posted the best save percentage in the league, showing why he can be one of the league's best goaltenders. And that showed in the postseason, especially in that Minnesota series. He had that 51 save overtime win in Game 1 against the Wild, and just stood on his head in that series. A lot of people will make the case that Jake Allen is the sole reason why the Blues cruised to a 4-1 series victory, an upset victory over the Minnesota Wild. And then in the second round, Jake Allen was still very solid in goal, but Pekka Rinne was just better. But going into next season, I am very excited, because if Jake Allen plays like that the entire season, the Blues are going to set themselves up very nice for the postseason next year. Now, as for the rest of the team, okay, you know what you have going forward with Tarasenko. 35 to possibly 50 goals. I still believe he can reach that mark. But unlike a lot of other top teams in the league, the Blues don't have that secondary guy, that complementary guy to Tarasenko. You look at all the top teams around the league, like the Penguins. You know, Crosby has Malkin. Ovechkin this year had TJ Oshie. McJesus has Draisaitl, Patrick Kane has Jonathan Toews, or you can make the case for Artemi Panarin. The Blues don't have that complimentary guy to Tarasenko. Now that could be Jaden Schwartz, he could potentially turn into that, but I see him as a very nice supporting cast. You know, he could put up 20, maybe 25 goals, but you don't have that other guy that can put up 30 or possibly even 40. And those type of guys don't come around in free agency very often at all. And really the only guy out there this offseason that can put up, 30 some odd goals is TJ Oshie. But he's already making around 4.7 right now. So I have to assume he's going to be asking for around 6.5. And the Blues are right up against the cap space. They would have to make some moves if they want to bring TJ Oshie back to St. Louis. I really don't see that happening. I would love for it to happen because I love me some TJ Oshie and I can make some use out of my jersey in the closet. But I just don't see that happening. Now, they do have a nice supporting cast of guys like Paul Stastny, even though he's not worth $7 million a year. He's a great playmaker, but he's not going to put up, top goal-scoring numbers. Patrick Berglund and David Perron had very nice regular seasons, but when the postseason rolled around, they were about as productive as throwing gasoline on a fire. Now, you just inked Patrick Berglund to a 5-year deal, and unless you leave him open in the expansion draft, or Stastny. You got 2 contracts that they could possibly pick up that could open up some cap space to where you could bring in a guy like TJ Oshie. I don't see the Vegas team picking up either of those contracts, especially with Stastny only having 1 year left. Now, going back to David Perron, again, had a very nice regular season. He more than made up for the offensive numbers that you lost when you lost Troy Brouwer to the Calgary Flames. Perron had a nice regular season, but did nothing in the postseason. Now, the Blues will be getting Robbie Fabry back next season. Lost him about halfway through the season to a torn ACL. And big offensive weapon that the Blues didn't have in the rest of the season and in that series against Nashville. You really could have used him. He's got a ton of skill, and I believe he can put up Jaden Schwartz type numbers. He's very fast, and he's very dangerous when the puck is on his stick. He can flat out rip it. Now, if the Blues can keep that same fourth line together next season, the line of Brodziak, Reeves, and Upshaw, I would love to see that, because you can make the case that they were the best line for the Blues the entire season. They were consistent all year, just raising absolute hell for any line on any team that was on the ice. They were great at breaking the puck out, great at getting the puck deep, working it down low on the boards, laying a hit on anybody that they could whenever they had the opportunity to do so, really wearing teams down, especially in the second half of the season after Yo took over, because Yo really pressed those guys hard. And Hitchcock really didn't do that, and I really never understood why, because when they were on the ice, they were making things happen. Even putting the puck in the back of the net every now and again. And when you get production from your fourth line, that takes a ton of pressure off of your top 3 lines, especially a guy like Tarasenko, where he doesn't have to do everything. Now, the Blues have Brodziak for 1 more year. They have Ryan Reeves for a couple more years, and I expect them to protect Ryan Reeves in the expansion draft. Along with Brodziak, I would protect him as well. And I think the odd man out here is Scotty Upshaw. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's in his early 30s. And you do have guys, waiting in the system. Guys like Tage Thompson and Jordan Carew. Guys who are just chomping at the bit to get up here. And if Tage Thompson, he's a small kid. He's a lanky kid, about 6'5". He's 180. He's a freaking stick. But, he puts on about 20-25 pounds of muscle. He could be what you lost in David Backes with a lot more skill and a lot more speed. The Blues signed him to an entry-level contract, and he played the latter part of the AHL season with the Chicago Wolves. So we could very well be seeing Tage Thompson next year. Now, as for the defense did exceptionally well once Yo took over. Instead of playing a man-to-man defense, they transitioned to a zone defense like they did a season ago, and it showed. They weren't allowing as many shots, making it very easy on Jake Allen. And I absolutely love Alex Pietrangelo, elite defender in the league. And Colton Parayko, guy's an absolute stud. He can flat out do it all. He could be a great offensive presence for you on the back end because he's got a howitzer of a shot. Arguably the fastest skater on the team. And he's just got a great hockey sense. I absolutely love watching Colton Parayko play. Same with Joel Edmondson. Big physical defenseman. He can make some plays every now and again. And in the postseason came up with some clutch goals. And you need that in the postseason. Nashville's been getting it for the first 2 rounds. And Edmondson gave you a little bit of that in the first 2 rounds, both against Minnesota and Nashville. Robert Bortuzzo, I like his big physical presence back there. He lays the body on anybody whenever he can. So I like bringing him back. Jay Bouwmeester, he did have a good season. And you guys may know, last year I ripped him a lot. And rightfully so. I didn't think he played that well. But he did have a very nice season. Played very well in the postseason in the first round against the Minnesota Wild. Good skater. He's good at getting the stick, doing stick checks, all that stuff, but he's not going to hit anybody. He's zero threat in the offensive zone. Every time he gets the puck in the offensive zone, he shot passes it off the backboards, trying to get it to deflect out in the slot. Every single time. I can have my eyes closed when Bouwmeester has the puck in the offensive zone, and I know what he's going to do. Now, he does have a no trade and a no movement clause, so you're going to have to protect him in the expansion draft. And honestly, I don't think anybody wants to pick up the contract anyway. And then Carl Gunnarsson. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. Just flat-footed a lot and a lot of patty cake. At least Bouwmeester is really good at stick checking and is a good skater. Gunnarsson, yeah, not so much. I'd rather see Schmaltzy in there. I like what I see from Jordan Schmaltzy. You know, he's good at playing the puck, and I feel he can put up maybe 8-10 goals a season. I like what Schmaltzy brings to the table. You also got Vanelli down in the AHL, as well as Petteri Lindbom. We've seen him up the last couple of years. Big physical defenseman, and I just think is a flat-out better option. Any of those guys are a better option than Carl Gunnarsson. If that happens, if they're able to make that happen and play those guys more over Gunnarsson, that defense is going to be not a lot of fun to play against, to say the least. But all in all, I'd say it's a pretty successful season for the Blues, considering where they were early on in the season, and I'm even more excited for next season, because if the Blues can have this nice little run with this team, again, where they were 2.5 months ago, with the guys I got coming up, guys like Tage Thompson and Jordan Carew, you're also getting Robbie Fabry back. That's going to be a nice boost to your offense. You have him for a full season. You get into the postseason, and maybe he can make a difference. You know, we saw how good he was in the postseason, playing on a line with Paul Stastny and Troy Brouwer. I mean, the dude was electric. He was putting up points left and right. That's going to be a nice boost to your offense. And if you can bring in a guy like TJ Oshie, you know, a 30-goal scorer, that's going to be a huge boost, but the Blues are going to have to clear up a lot of cap space to make that happen. They're going to have to make a couple moves because Oshie's going to be asking for a lot of money, especially after the career season that he had here in Washington. But whether you go out and get somebody or it's somebody within, somebody has to complement Tarasenko in the goal-scoring department. You can't completely rely on him, and that showed the last couple of years. The Blues just simply don't have enough firepower. And also, if you can get a guy like a Justin Williams, you know, a certified Stanley Cup winner, he knows how to hoist that cup. You know, we saw what Troy Brouwer brought to the Blues last year. You know, he hoisted the cup with the Blackhawks. And just getting that guy in there, that locker room presence who knows what it takes to win a championship, I mean, that does more than anybody could possibly imagine. And we saw what this defense can be when they are playing at their best. Yo takes over, they go to a zone-type defense, and that makes Jake Allen's job a hell of a lot easier, and that compounded the fact that Jake Allen turned into a freaking brick wall. And if we get a full season of Jake Allen, like how he played in the second half of the season and in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, the Blues are going to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. That goals against average is going to be pretty damn low if the defense can play like how we know they can play, and Jake Allen does what he did in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs and in the second half of the season. So I'm looking for the Blues to improve greatly from what they were points-wise this season. Just, that first half of the season, it was so brutal. But I look for the Blues to improve on that. You know, you get a full season under Mike Yeo. You know, Yeo comes in, and just the whole vibe of the team changed, and they played their best hockey. You know, one of the best teams in the league that may have peaked a little bit too early, but they had to do that if they were going to make it into the postseason at all. But going into next season, I think things are looking pretty damn good for the Blues. Again, you got a lot of young guys in the system. You got the supporting cast around Tarasenko. You just need to get that. Somebody needs to step up and be that complimentary goal scorer to him. You got a guy like Ivan Barbashev, too. You got him on the team as well. He came up in the second half of the season. Not afraid to go into the nitty-gritty areas. He can win faceoffs, put the puck in the back of the net every now and again. The pieces are there. Just somebody needs to step up. You got a lockdown defense. And if Jake Allen can do what he did in the second half of the season, oh my God, I am very, very excited. But that's pretty much all I got today, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit that subscribe button, smack the like button on its big fat chin. And if you want to support me, support all the guys on the channel, check out everything that everybody's doing here over on Shopping the Point Hockey. We got tons of great stuff coming your way. And if you want to support me individually, my Advocare link is down in the description down below. You guys know I'm a huge fitness junkie. So if you guys want to check that stuff out, if you're in the United States and Canada, looking for some supplements to try in the gym, make your workouts a lot easier, and see some results that you never dreamed were imaginable, check out that Advocare link and shoot me a tweet at JeffHuffman87 on Twitter, and we can talk about that. Also, if you want to check me out on my main channel is over at Huffman's Hangout. It should be in the description down below as well. And if you want to sauce me a donation, you like what you see, you want to throw me a little tip, I have a donation link set up on my main channel page as well. But anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to share this around. Again, sorry for the glitchy gameplay. My Elgato's messed up. That won't happen again. And we got a lot of great stuff coming your way, guys. I'm real excited for this. I know you guys are too. But anyway, I'm done now. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Have a good one, guys.